Hello everyone and welcome back to the Drew Gamers Farm 121 Let's Play. In the last episode we started the Whisperwind Cove. We got 20 floors into it, so we got the next 20 floors to do. Question of the day, just a quick question of the day. Who is your favourite starter Pokemon? So it can be any of the ones from the main games. But let me know who it is. Out of obviously Gen 1. You can include Gen 9 if you want as well, though we haven't seen anything other than the base forms. But yeah, is it Rowlet? Is it Mudkip? Is it just the two that I really like? Rowlet, Mudkip, Charmander, Trico, Brokey. But yeah, just let me know in the comments who your favorite is, and I'm interested to see. So we got a few battles. I think I felt bad because in the last episode we didn't have enough battles, so I was just like, you know what, let's just do this. And I'm recording this directly after I've recorded the other one, so it's going to be interesting. I know there's an annoying floor on here, and this one's a lot longer. As you've already seen, this episode is about 37 minutes long. Whereas the other one was 28 minutes, and that's because there's an annoying flaw. There's some flaws like this. Grant malfunctioning, currently lacking 2 parts, request search for parts. So we gotta find parts. And again, this is what I mean, like, this is a weird flaw. Because you don't really get floors like this in the dungeon. Like, most of the floors have been just, like I said, getting to find the stairs. We haven't had to do a random task like this to do it. And it's kind of it's a bit annoying floor. It's cool, like I like doing stuff like this, but then it added a lot of time to the episode, because it's a case of you've got to click on every single broken down robot in hopes that you find the part. It's kind of like, there we go, we got one. We got an energy chip. It's kind of like the bins in what's it called, Vermilion Gym in Pokemon, the original Pokemon games, and any game that has the Vermilion Gym, where you have to click on all the bins and you have to find the switches, and if you find the switch, you've got to press the other one to find the switch, but the switch changes in its location. It's always next to, obviously, the one that you're doing, but it could be in, like, 1 of 4 directions, and it's very irritating. As for the question of the day, my two favorite starter Pokemon are Rowlet and Mudkip. Those are my two tops. I do really like Fuecoco though, and he might be my first fire starter. I'm not, because when I play through the games, I have a canon team that I go with each starter. Oh yeah, this is another one. Each of the dwarves has a problem, and you have to talk to each dwarf. And figure out the problem. And so it's like, oh, he's got a hurting stomach, so you need to find someone who will give you like tonic to help his stomach, that sort of stuff. Usually all with my canon teams and stuff, I do my first let's play is like my main team of the region, and then if I play through it subsequent times, so he needs tools. So for instance, if I play Silver, that was my first game, so I went through with my canon team, and then when I played Crystal, I went through with a different starter and a different team. So I do it like that, but I usually count like my first team as my main team of the region. And for the most part, apart from Rowlet, apart from Gen 7, every single time it's been water. I do really struggle with Gen 8 though, because I love Grookey and I love Rillaboom, but I do really like Inteleon as well, and there's just really good water types in there's not as many good water types in Gen 8 that I wanted to use. So he wants a Carabao, so you give him the Carabao. He gives you an Ocarina, so now we need to go find the person who wants the Ocarina, who is this guy, and this will be something for you to collect a long time ago. It's a cogwheel, so now we need to give someone the cogwheel. And the main aim of this is we need to come down here and we need to give a Star Ruby to the golem. But yeah, usually I keep like getting interrupted by different thoughts, but usually I go with my main team, which is the water type. But Gen 7, I like Litten and I like Poplio, but I wasn't a huge fan of Primarina. I've used it since, and it's such a good Pokemon, but I didn't think it fit Poplio's evolution line. I think it should have been its own Pokemon, and then Poplio got something else. Because it is really good, a fantastic Pokemon, and it's got a really good typing in Water Fairy. Oh, I sped up there. But Rowlet, I love Rowlet, and I love the whole idea of it being an archer, and then it becoming Decidueye, which is an archer. Fantastic. Come on, needs me out of the way. And then in every other region, it's always been water. But then I struggled with Gen 8 because I was like, okay, I really like Grookey and I really like Sobble. I'm not a huge fan of Scorbunny. I don't like, what's it called? He's giving us a pickaxe. They are telling us some lore and stuff, and I'm not really concentrating, but... What was he called? Scorbunny, Reboot, and... Oh, that's the pickaxe. I'll trade you next autograph. Why can't I remember its name? But anyway, I don't like it. But I do struggle between Grookey and Sobble as who I would choose as my starter. But I think because everyone knows Dan's designs, me and him always go with like different starters and stuff. And I usually go water, he usually goes grass. So I was interested in Gen 7 when we did it, because I went grass and he went fire. Oh, there you go, the Witch's Brew. So I think we give that to the guy who has a sore stomach. He gives us some Smith tools. See what I mean though? Some of these floors are very intense and very long. And we got the house key, so we need to find the person who wants the house key. But we haven't found any battles, so over the last 2 floors, so it's kind of intense. I think the guy down here wants the house key. Yeah? Yes. Cat's whisker. But I'm excited to see who I end up going with, because when I first looked at the starts for Gen 9, I love all 3 of them. I love Sprigatito, I love Fuecoco, and I love Quaxley. But when I first saw them, I was instantly drawn to Fuecoco, so it might be my first canon fire starter. But then on the other side of it, I love Quaxley. I'm not going Sprigatito because I want to leave that for Daniel. And I know a lot of people are going to go Sprigatito. So I'm either going to go Fuecoco or Quaxley. I don't know yet. It's really tough. I love both of them. They're fantastic. All 3 of them are like so well designed. I'm still in my head. I'm still trying to remember the name of Scorbunny's final evolution, and I don't know why I can't remember it. So then we got the Star Ruby. So we can give that to the guy and then we can get out of here. I'm still thinking. Scott Bunny reboot and who? It's got a really weird name because I didn't understand. I think I didn't understand the reference to it at first. Hold on. Right, it's going to annoy me if I don't check. So we got through that floor okay. I know what it looks like, but why can I not remember its name? Cinderace, that was it. I knew it was like a really weird name because it's obviously based on a rabbit with Score Bunny and stuff, and I didn't really understand its name and how it tied into it being, obviously Cinder is fire, but I didn't understand how it tied into being a rabbit. They don't always follow that tradition, but there is probably some relevance to it that I just don't understand. And that's why I couldn't remember it, because it's like Rillaboom is gorilla and boom, and Intellion is intelligence and chameleon. And then Cinderace, I don't know. So we're in Whisperwind Cove B26, basement level 26. Maybe I'll concentrate on what's actually happening in the episode now instead of trying to focus on trying to remember what Pokemon's called. I just like to go off on like random tangents and like talk to you about different things in these episodes because like they're not, until we hit the boss floors, there's not much I can really say because apart from on the floors where we have like challenges to do, like the dwarf floor and then the robot floor, because it's just a case of finding the stairs, and I've cut out most of the battles and stuff because by this point we're pretty high level and the battles just take up a lot of time in the episode where I'm trying to get to certain points, so we'll have 47 with everyone, which is really good. There it is, got it. Floor. Right, this floor, I actually do remember doing this. I did this floor, and if you talk to different fairies, some of them will heal you, and some of them will put you on 1 health. And I went through this dungeon, got to this floor, because it's not always on this specific number. I think we're on floor 27. And you'll notice that I'm avoiding talking to any of them, because they put me all on 1 health, and then I got into a battle, not realizing that they put me down to 1 health, and I got killed. I just got 1 shot, and I was like, oh, that's fantastic. So, but if you talk to, I think it's usually this fairy. Hey, listen, I found a hidden staircase while I was looking, and then that's it. You have to talk to the right fairy, but it's very deadly. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't tell you if they've taken all your health off. And yeah, I got murdered and I had to do the whole dungeon. Oh, saw a frame of the dragon, then it's fine. Doing, like, cutting out battles, sometimes when it's sped up, it glitches up like that, where it'll show like 1 frame of the battle. It's because I've sped it up and you have to cut it a certain way, but it's fine, I don't... Whatever, it's only happened like once or twice in the whole series. We've got some blood tigers. Very cool. Now, I hope everyone's been enjoying the series so far. It's been a lot of fun doing it. I really enjoyed it because I haven't obviously recorded this in a very long time. So this is another floor. It's a case of we've got to find the door to the right place to get out of here. And it's actually inside the inn. And I had to cut a lot of this out because I was walking around for a really long time. And I went into the inn and I rested up and then I left. And I was like, okay, well, I've got to, because it threw me back outside after I rested, which was very annoying. So this is very interesting. This is the floor 30, and this is where... Please, hey. It hurts someone, please help. This is the boss floor. Why is this happening? We've done nothing wrong. And very, very interesting when we get there. And I do want to cut into something if I can remember to include it. Help us. Please help us. Why is this happening? We've done nothing wrong. Please wait. All these people are they're like cursed. Help us. The monstrosity behind the bridge transforms into the grotesque forms you see now. If we can defeat it, we should... Oh, okay. Please hear our plea. So we have to go and take on the boss. And I want to make sure I do include something. I will usher you to the next world. This is Phantom Train. Another boss in Final Fantasy 6, obviously, because this is the Final Fantasy 6 dungeon. And the thing I want to include, if I can remember, is one of the characters, who's one of my favorite characters in the game, Sabin. He can suplex this, and it's a big thing in the for those who play Final Fantasy 6. You've got to suplex the Phantom Train, and I love doing it. It's fantastic because he'll just jump at it, and then he launches into the air, and then he slams it down, and it's hilarious. And in Final Fantasy 6 as well, you can one-shot this boss if you just throw a Phoenix down at it. Because it's an undead enemy, and usually with undead enemies, you can just throw Phoenix downs on them and they'll either do a ridiculous amount of damage or it will kill it. But I thought it was really cool that they included, out of the bosses that they could have included from Final Fantasy 6, Typhon and Ultros are very well known. Phantom Train's very well known just for the fact that you can suplex it with Sabin. It's a really cool, because it's actually like a bit of the game where, depending on who you have, you'll either have Sabin and Cyan, or you'll have Sabin, Cyan, and Shadow. And the only way Shadow's a very interesting character in that game because he joins you throughout the game at certain points, and you have to get him he'll join you and then he'll leave. And he will join you for a quest in the before you get Cyan. He'll help Sabin try and do something, and you'll get Shadow with you. But after a certain amount of battles, he will leave, and then after certain story points, he will leave. So whenever I get Shadow, I do run away from practically every battle, because once you get him into the Phantom Train, he can't leave. And he stays with you for like the whole of the thing. And then soon after that, he will leave for a while. And it's like a whole, so like I say dungeon, it's not really a dungeon, but it's a segment of the game where you're on the Phantom Train and you've got to get off it because you're being escorted to the underworld. And it won't let you leave, and you have to figure out how to stop it and get off and make sure you leave. You can't technically kill it because it's the Phantom Train. I'm excited to do, I'm actually excited to do Final Fantasy 6 on the channel now. Like, just these bosses are making me think, oh yeah, I need to do Final Fantasy 6. Love that game. Fantastic game. I haven't played it for a very, very long time, so... I wouldn't mind doing it. Maybe that's what the next Let's Play will be. Maybe. It's the Final Fantasy that has the most playable characters in it. And that's it, that's Phantom Train down. It's actually pretty tough, like I said, this is technically the last one you're supposed to do. We've got a Mega Elixir for that. From some source I'm seeing the scent of flowers can be carried to you on the breeze. Because because this is technically the last dungeon you're supposed to do, but you don't have to. You can do them in any order you want. The bosses here are trouble. You saved us. Look, flowers blanket the village with splendor. Please rest a while before moving on. So Phantom Train cursed it, and we took out the curse, and it saved the village, which I think is really cool. I must have been eating something really nasty. Well, I'll be. So you mean we were all dead? We were cursed, dying, petrified? Well, I'll be a son of a gun. Ooh, guys, quite a pinch. Yeah, I did. Thank you. Yeah, 6 has the most playable characters in any Final Fantasy that they've done. It has 14 characters, I think, from what I remember. And then we can leave, and you... I think I was healing then, that's why that happened. I did a little cut. There's 12 main playable characters and there's 2 secret characters. Which is very interesting that they included 2 secret characters. And Final Fantasy 7 actually has 2 secret characters as well. Like, a lot of people don't realize that Yuffie and Vincent are actually optional. You don't have to get them at all for the game. But they are very important to the game. I always get them because they're 2 absolutely fantastic characters. Both of them have really good... They just... I just love Yuffie and Vincent. I think they're just really... I'm like, my thoughts are going all over the place because I've been talking about so many different things. Hey, there's another frame there. Obviously, if you've played Final Fantasy 7, Yuffie is a ninja and Vincent is basically a monstrosity. And interestingly enough, Vincent's last limit break is chaos. He actually turns into chaos. Because Vincent's limit breaks are him turning into like crazy, creepy monstrosities. And his last one is chaos. And it's based on Final Fantasy 1's final boss that we fought in episode 16, Chaos. But Yuffie... I did a really bad job of cutting these things out, didn't I? That's fine, whatever, I don't really care. Yuffie obviously got her own DLC for the Final Fantasy 7 remake as well, which is really cool. I really enjoyed it, and it explains a lot of why you find it where you do in Final Fantasy 7. I'm not going to go into too much of the story or anything, but because I know people still haven't played it. But as for her being in Midgar, it makes a lot of sense as to why she is there. Because you find her for the first time after doing Mithril Cave, which is not too far after hitting the world map. You go to Calm, you listen to Cloud's backstory. Then you go to Chocobo Farm, the Chocobo Ranch. You catch a Chocobo, you go over the lake, you see Midgard Soma. The Midgard Serpent. It's actually called Midgard Zolan in that game, but... and then you go through the Mithril Cave, and then as you get on the other side, you can walk into any forest in the game from that point on, and you will find Yuffie in any of the forests. That's the earliest you can get her, and I always make sure to get her that early on because I think she's just such a good character. She gets kind of like a couple of Omni-Slash style limit breaks, and she can do some really good damage with them. She gets a healing limit break as well. As a ninja, she has decent attack. She can be on the back row. She gets decent magic as well. She can be on the back row and still do like a lot of damage. She doesn't need to be on the front row because she's got a ranged weapon. Same with Vincent. I think I was going up there and like something happened and I was like, okay, well there's nothing up here, and I was up there for a while, so I cut it out. Vincent can be on the back row as well, and he's alright too. He doesn't need it because he's got a gun. So he can stand on the back row and take less damage, while the other characters deal more damage, like Cloud should always be on the front row. There's been a lot of tangents in today's episode, hasn't there? I've started off with who's your favorite starter Pokemon to this is my canon team and what I want it to be on my, what I consider my canon team and what is, how it works and why I want to use Fuecoco and Quaxley. And then we talked about Final Fantasy 6 because we're in the 6th dungeon. Now we've talked about Final Fantasy 7. So it's a bit all over the shop really, but it's been fun just rambling. For 37 was that? Can't hold any more. We've got speed drink. There's a floor that I thought was in this dungeon. Maybe it's coming up. Squid Draken. Maybe it's coming up and I just can't remember. Yeah, for some reason I didn't have the Excalibur on anymore, and I don't know why. I don't know why it unequipped. I think I did it by accident in a battle. You both come under the swords and can't find true rest. Why is the light? You will heed flickers of their thoughts. So these are like all the enemies that we've killed. And they kind of just have like a little one final thought before they pass on to the true afterlife. This is kind of like purgatory for him. I tried to take a look at the clan's princess. What a mistake. Everywhere I go, people are. And there's a couple of the pain, the terrible pain in my flesh running on my bones. There's a couple of bosses in this floor that you might recognize, which is cool. This isn't like the boss floor, but I thought it was a cool thing. But you have to click on every single one of them. That's the way you get through this floor. I was skipping through a lot of the dialogue because it is a lot. Excuse me. I really wanted to use magic. Oh. Sorry. My bad. The stairs will be here. They're all pomp and circumstance. I can see I have my revenge. So here we have Vampire, the boss that we fought all those episodes ago. Still a pushover. I just thought it was funny that like him and one other boss turn up. Forgive me, Lich. And people are always getting me confused with a Dark Fighter. Oh, I didn't get to read that all, but Astos, there we go. And here we have Astos, who is also another boss that we fought before. But that Medusa was like, when I look at people, they turn me to stone, but if I look in the mirror, I'll turn myself to stone. Tell me, what do I really look like? The curse of Astor will follow you to your dying day. Will it? He's actually in Stranger of Paradise as well. He doesn't look like that, though. There we go. That was that floor done. Now we can leave. Whisperwind Cove. Floor 39. So this is the second to last floor. Nothing in there. There's a chest down here though, which has a fairy tonic in it. I'm actually not sure what the fairy tonic does. I've got a lot of them, but I don't really tend to, apart from potions and stuff, I don't really tend to use items. Like healing items and stuff. I use obviously the Giant's Glove and all that to boost myself up in combat. Giant's Tonic, Soma Drop. I think, does Soma Drop increase your MP? I think it does in other Final Fantasies. I'm not entirely sure if it does here. And that was the second to last floor. It wasn't too bad. Excuse me, again. I'm gonna heal up. We have one boss to go. This is one of the pretty difficult bosses in Final Fantasy 6, not gonna lie. Bruh. This is Death Gaze. Death Gaze appears very much in the second half of the game while you're on the airship, and he will randomly attack you while you're flying through the sky, and I'm not entirely sure what the mechanics of it is, how it like calculates when you're going to encounter him, because he's just it just seemingly randomly. But I don't think it is random. There's obviously some sort of calculation of how it works. And he's pretty tough, because you're fighting on the airship, which is, you do quite a lot in Final Fantasy 6. You fight on the airship quite a few times. And he is very tough, and if you beat him, you get Bahamut as your summon in that game. You pick up Bahamut after you beat him. It's a very tough fight, but a lot of the bosses in Final Fantasy 6 you can basically choose them. And if I do decide to do Final Fantasy 6 as a Let's Play, I might try and do it. And that is, there's a spell in that game which is Vanish, and you can cast it on the enemy, and basically what Vanish does, it will turn you invisible, and it will stop you being hurt by physical attacks, but you're hit by a magical one, it will deactivate it, basically. And you can do it on bosses, and then you can use a spell called X-Zone. And what X-Zone does is it's an instant kill move where it'll remove an enemy from the battle. But if you cast Vanish on them, it always works. For whatever reason, it will always work by doing it. It doesn't work. I think it doesn't work in later versions of Final Fantasy 6 when they've remade it and stuff, but very much in the PlayStation version and the SNES version of the game, you can use Vanish X-Zone on a lot of enemies and kill them. And I think it's quite fun. What I really love about Final Fantasy 6 is that every single character can use magic once you get to a certain point, but every single one of them has their own unique ability. So for instance, Sabin has blitzes, which are monk techniques. Edgar has tools, so he's basically like a machinist. Locke, who is a thief, he steals, that sort of stuff. So I think that's really cool, and because there's 14 characters, it's interesting how they managed to get each and every one of them as something unique. And that's some of it has come from like the different classes of Final Fantasy 4 and 5, and they've just sort of like upgraded it, and every character technically has a class to a point. None of them are like white mage, black mage sort of thing. They all have a class, and it's all different from each other, which is really, really cool. I always loved that. It made it unique to when you're playing it, and it's like, okay, well, who do I want to use? What abilities do I want to use? Who should I use as my main team? Usually my main team ends up being the same, but maybe I'll change it up if I like to play it. And I believe Death Gaze has the most, one of the highest HPs in the game. I think he's at like 35,000 HP. Ooh, the spell. Ooh. – 76 damage, Jesus Christ. But because we've got Sterling set up, it's not too bad. I think it's because he used Dispel on him, so it took his attack power back down to nothing, basically. It didn't have any boost on it. 40 damage. Alright. Does Frederick kill him? No. I'm worried because I do keep an eye on like how long we have left in the episode. I'm like, okay, well we've only got like 1 minute left, so makes me curious as like who's gonna get the killing blow. It's gotta be Sterling, surely. No? Wow. Oh, it was Frederick. Interesting. I always like it when one of the other characters takes him down as well, because it makes it fun and different because you're not expecting it. So we got a Lightbringer for that, so that's a really powerful weapon. However, for doing this, if you walk over here and you come in here, you get the Ultimate weapon, which is the best weapon in the game. We're gonna give that to Sterling, and then Frederick's gonna get the Lightbringer. So that's gonna be it. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!